Hello, my dear friends, and welcome back to World Learncast. I'm Ulviyye, and I am thrilled that you are here with me today. Imagine we are sitting together in a cozy, sunlit room. You have your favorite drink in hand, perhaps a warm cup of tea or coffee, and maybe even a small biscuit or a piece of chocolate. Today, we are diving deep into one of Britain's most charming and elegant traditions afternoon tea. But let me tell you, this episode is not just about tea. It's about culture, history, social life, manners, food, and of course, delicious stories. Let's start with a picture in your mind. Imagine soft sunlight filling a beautiful British room. A small table is covered with a crisp white tablecloth. On the table, there's a silver teapot shining and steaming, with little curls of steam rising into the air. A three-tiered stand holds perfectly arranged sandwiches, warm scones with clotted cream and strawberry jam, and colorful pastries and cakes that look almost too beautiful to eat. Around the table, people are quietly chatting, laughing softly, and enjoying each other's company. This is afternoon tea, a mixture of calm, elegance, and social delight. But where did this tradition begin? To understand afternoon tea, we need to travel back to the early 19th century. At the time, people in Britain typically had two main meals: breakfast in the morning and dinner late in the evening, sometimes as late as 8 o'clock. Imagine waiting so long between meals. Anna Russell, the seventh Duchess of Bedford, found herself in this situation. Around 1840, she began having a small afternoon meal at around 4 o'clock. This meal included tea, bread, butter, and small cakes. She loved this moment of calm and refreshment, and soon she started inviting her friends to join her. What started as a private habit soon became a fashionable social event among the overclasses, and thus the tradition of afternoon tea was born. Afternoon tea quickly became more than just food. It was a social ritual. Women could meet friends, exchange news, and enjoy each other's company without needing a male escort. This was significant because public social life for women was limited. Soon, tea rooms appeared in towns and cities, providing safe, elegant places for people to socialize. These tea rooms became cultural hubs where conversation, ideas, and friendships flourished. Now let's look at the food. A traditional afternoon tea has three parts, presented on a three-tiered stand. The bottom tier is for sandwiches, small, crustless, and neatly cut into rectangles or triangles. Popular fillings include cucumber with cream cheese, smoked salmon, egg and cress, and roast beef with mustard. They are light, easy to eat, and perfect for conversation. The middle tier holds scones, round, soft, slightly sweet, and served warm with clotted cream and strawberry jam. There's a fun debate about whether to spread cream first or jam first. In Devon, they spread cream first and jam. In Cornwall, they spread jam first and cream. Whichever way you choose, the scones are delicious and comforting. The top tier holds sweets and pastries. Victoria's sponge cake, Battenberg cake with its pink and yellow squares, lemon drizzle cake, chocolate eclairs, macarons, and other small treats are typical choices. Eating these cakes is an experience for the senses. Taste, smell, and visual delight combined. Tea is, of course, the heart of the tradition. Black teas such as Earl Grey, Darjeeling, Assam, and English breakfast are the classics. Some enjoy green tea or herbal infusions, but traditional afternoon tea always features black tea, often with milk and sometimes sugar. A small but passionate debate exists on whether to add milk, before or after pouring the tea. Either way, the tea is comforting, aromatic, and essential to the experience. Etiquette is important. Hold your teacup by the handle, thumb and forefinger placed delicately. Keep your little finger down. Raising it is a stereotype, not polite. Stir gently and place the spoon on the saucer. Eat sandwiches and scones with your hands, breaking the scone in half before adding cream and jam. Cakes are eaten with fingers if small, or with a fork if large. Following these simple rules enhances the elegance and calm of the occasion. Tea has a fascinating history. First introduced to Britain in the 17th century from China, tea became a luxury for the wealthy. By the 18th century, tea had spread across social classes. Initially very expensive, tea symbolized status. Later, the British East India Company imported tea from India, particularly Assam and Darjeeling, regions still famous today. Afternoon. Tea influenced fashion, literature, and art. Novels by Jane Austen and others often mention tea gatherings, conversations, and social rituals. Paintings depict elegant tea rooms with men and women enjoying tea, and classical music sometimes accompanied these gatherings. Tea is not just a beverage, it is a reflection of culture, history, and social norms. Language learners can benefit immensely. Words like clotted cream, tiered stand, infusion, pastries, and etiquette are specific vocabulary items. Polite phrases such as, "Would you care for more tea?" or "Could you pass the sugar, please?" are excellent for daily use. Even modern slang comes from tea culture. Spill the tea means to share gossip, originating from social tea gatherings where people exchange news and stories. Around the world, tea traditions vary. In Azerbaijan, tea is central to hospitality, served in armudu glasses with sugar or jam, often accompanied by small snacks. In Japan, the tea ceremony emphasizes mindfulness, harmony, and precision. Turkish tea is daily, strong and sweetened, and served in tulip-shaped glasses. Each tradition teaches different cultural values, and exploring them enriches both language skills and world knowledge. Afternoon tea was also a moment for social learning. People exchanged ideas, told jokes, and sometimes recited poetry. This shows that language is alive. It is about connection, emotion, and sharing. Travelers today can enjoy themed afternoon teas. Alice in Wonderland teas feature cakes shaped like cards or Mad Hatter's hats. Christmas teas offer gingerbread spiced treats and festive drinks. These experiences combine tradition with creativity, culture, and delight. Creating your own afternoon tea at home is an excellent learning activity. Prepare sandwiches, bake scones, serve tea, and speak English with friends. You can read a short story, discuss cultural facts, or practice polite expressions. Combining culture, language, and enjoyment strengthens both knowledge and speaking skills. Afternoon. Tea teaches patience, mindfulness, attention to detail, and appreciation of small pleasures. It reminds us to slow down, savor life's moments, and celebrate cultural traditions. For English learners, connecting language learning with real life experiences, tastes, and social interactions is one of the most effective ways to improve vocabulary and comprehension. Now, let's continue our journey and explore some additional fascinating aspects of afternoon tea that you might not know yet. While afternoon tea has its classic forms, different regions in Britain have their own unique twists. For example, in London, high-end hotels often offer luxurious afternoon tea experiences, complete with delicate finger sandwiches, artisanal pastries, and teas sourced from all over the world. In contrast, in Bath, a historic city known for its Roman baths, tea rooms often serve afternoon tea in charming Georgian settings, giving visitors a sense of stepping back in time. Edinburgh, the capital of Scotland, is famous for tea rooms that incorporate local flavors such as shortbread, Scottish fruits, and regional teas like Scottish breakfast tea. Merging tradition with creativity has become a modern trend. Today, you can find themed afternoon tea experiences inspired by literature, movies, seasons, or even fantasy worlds. For instance, a Harry Potter themed afternoon tea in London includes desserts shaped like wands, chocolate frogs, and butterbeer inspired drinks. Alice in Wonderland themed teas feature card shaped biscuits, eat me cakes, and Mad Hatter hats made of chocolate. Even festive Christmas afternoon teas include spiced cakes, gingerbread cookies, and mulled teas that fill the room with a warm seasonal aroma. Learning English while exploring these traditions can be both fun and educational. You can expand your vocabulary by learning words like artisanal, flavors, historic, festive, aroma, and delicacies. Phrases such as, "May I offer you some tea?" or "Would you care for a slice of cake?" can be used politely in everyday English conversations. You can even learn idioms such as take tea with someone, which historically meant to socialize and share news. Let's dive deeper into the history. Did you know that Queen Victoria herself enjoyed afternoon tea? It is said that she hosted tea gatherings in her private rooms, inviting close friends and family. These royal teas influenced the spread of the tradition across the country. Famous literary figures, including Jane Austen, Charles Dickens, and Oscar Wilde, often described afternoon tea in their works, highlighting it as a moment of social life, conversation, and elegance. Afternoon tea is also an opportunity to practice mindfulness and slow living. In our fast paced modern world, it encourages us to pause, savor flavors, and engage in meaningful conversation. You can practice your English listening and speaking by describing the taste, texture, and aroma of your tea and pastries, or by sharing your opinions with friends. This method of experiential learning makes new words and phrases more memorable. Around the world, many countries have developed tea traditions that are both similar and different from British afternoon tea. In Japan, the tea ceremony, called chanoyu, focuses on precision, mindfulness, and ritual. Every movement, from whisking matcha powder to pouring water, is deliberate. In China, tea drinking is an art that includes different brewing techniques for green, black, and oolong teas, often accompanied by small snacks or dim sum. In India, chai is a daily beverage made with strong black tea, milk, sugar, and spices, often served in small glasses and shared socially. Even in modern cafes and restaurants outside of Britain, you can find afternoon tea inspired menus. For example, in the United States, high tea events are offered in some cities, combining British tradition with local flavors such as pumpkin spice pastries or regional jams. In Australia, afternoon tea often includes lamingtons, pavlovas, and native bush teas. These adaptations show how traditions evolve, connect cultures, and introduce new vocabulary to learners. Let's also explore some fun facts. Did you know that the world's largest afternoon tea was held in London and served thousands of people in one day? Or that some luxury hotels charge over £60 per person for a themed afternoon tea experience? These numbers show the cultural significance and continued popularity of this delightful tradition. For English learners, one of the best ways to connect with culture is through storytelling. You can describe your own afternoon tea experience, write a diary entry, or even make a short video explaining the history and traditions. This active practice reinforces vocabulary and builds confidence in using English naturally. Let's add a few more vocabulary tips. Words like tiered, clotted, whirring, infusion, aromatic, delicacy, and hospitality are all highly relevant. Example sentences. The three-tiered stand was filled with delicious sandwiches, scones, and pastries. The clotted cream melted perfectly on the warm scone. The aromatic tea filled the room with a comforting smell. Finally, consider the social lessons afternoon tea teaches us. Patience, attentiveness, politeness, and conversation skills are all developed during tea gatherings. This is especially valuable for English learners because it provides a context for practicing speaking, listening, and cultural understanding in a relaxed, enjoyable way. So, as you create your own afternoon tea at home, think about more than just food. Invite friends, practice polite expressions, describe flavors in English, and share stories. Every detail from pouring tea to arranging pastries can become a learning opportunity. Thank you for joining me today on this extended journey through British afternoon tea. I hope you are inspired to try afternoon tea, practice your English, and explore cultural traditions wherever you are. Remember, learning English is not only about grammar and vocabulary, it is about connecting with people, understanding the world, and enjoying every moment. Until next time, keep sipping, keep learning, and keep exploring.